Hi everybody, welcome back to another CYT-Crypto episode. My name is Stephen Aitchison and today we're going to be going over the markets just as usual, and we'll be looking at a couple of news stories as well as chatting to you as well. Now, as I said, I'm keeping these kind of videos shorter just now, a wee bit more shorter than the usual hour long, so we'll try and keep it to 30 to 40 minutes, but we'll try and cram in it as much as possible. So I'm just going to see if we're live. Just make sure everything is up and running. Okay, we've got a few people in the chat room, which is good. And we'll just jump over to the chat room just now. And I think it's going to die down a wee bit for Christmas. But we'll just jump in. Adam Forrest is in the house. Welcome to you. Christopher A is in. First, good morning. I think Adam was first. Just beat you, Christopher. Pete Bolos is in the house. Digitex Babe is in. Good to see you. 19 days until Digitex beta, yes. So it's 19 days, so it is the very end of December then, that's been confirmed. Stephen King is in, Wolf Lenkovich is in, Mike Cryptical is in this morning as well. Okay, just Patrick Freeze just joined us. We'll just go straight to the markets just now, and we'll just refresh that. This is on CoinMarketCap. We'll look at the overall kind of markets and Bitcoin. Market capitalization is down to $109 billion. Bitcoin dominance up, well, kind of stayed the same at 55%. And Bitcoin itself is down 1% over the last 24 hours to 3,449. And we'll be looking at Bitcoin in a second, more in detail. XRP's up, most are in the red. We'll just see kind of who's up. DEX is up 43%. Credo is up 37%, Waves up 13%, Tezos up 11%. That's the only four that's in double-digit greens. But overall, probably got about 25% in the green and 75% in the red. So Wax is down 30%, and Factum down 13%, two in double-digit reds as well. And we're just going to go over to all cryptos. So this is out of the 2068 or 2069 now cryptos that are volume over 100,000. We'll discount the ones that have got 1,000 and have gone up 1,500% or something. That just doesn't work. So Swarm is up 57%. DEX, as we said, Consentium, which is, I was going to say it's down at 1,777, but it's not got the, obviously, the circulating supply on there yet. That's up 44%. PopChain up 33%. Patreon up 31%. Seeing if there's any. There's a few out there that are doing really, really well. So I just want to show you this, just to show you that there are still opportunities to make money in this market. So there's loads up over the 24%. There's in double-digit greens just now. We'll just have a look over the 7 days, and this is coins that have been traded over 100,000 and more. So we kind of looked at some of them yesterday. Veros over 500%, Evencoin 394%, Lightpay Coin 83%. So sometimes you get a lot of them that are up 1,000%, stuff like that. But we want to look at the volume, the high volume ones. Higher volume means obviously more liquidity as well. So if you're buying into these, you can get into them. So just look at Veros, for example, and show the markets. So ByteBC, Livecoin, ByteBC would be the biggest one. So obviously there's going to be more liquidity there as well, and that's CNY. So that looks like an outlier, to be honest. So ByteBC is doing the majority of the trading, but if you look on Livecoin, you can get this for 1.4 cents, and yet it's 12.2 cents on ByteBTC for CNY. So something missing there. So maybe that's not a true reflection or an accurate reflection of what's actually going on at the moment with Veros. Okay, but it was just to show, that wasn't a good example, but it was just to show you that there are opportunities out there still if you're trading. Let's look at kind of Bitcoin just now. This is the XBT price. We'll look at BTC, USD value, and we'll go to Bitstamp. So 3,374 at the moment. Still looking on its way down just now. We'll go to the 4-hour kind of chart. If you're looking at just the charts, you would not be buying Bitcoin just now. Obviously, if you're going with the trend, you wouldn't be buying into a kind of downtrend. You don't want to do that. So it might be worth waiting if you're obviously investing. Maybe a different story if you're kind of putting $200 in a month or something like that. That's going to be much better as well. And that kind of brings me on to kind of talk about, I was reading a couple of stories out there, like in Bitcoin, investing is like buying a lottery ticket, but it's nothing like buying a lottery ticket. With a lottery ticket, you either lose every week or you win a bit, and you don't certainly win every single week. Your chances of winning on the lottery the odds are just astronomically kind of high for winning anything on the lottery, to be honest. So this is nothing like kind of buying a lottery ticket. This is actually investing for the future. If you truly believe, and we've been saying this all along, if you truly believe that Bitcoin price is going to go up and there's going to be more use cases scenario for it, the kind of Lightning Network's going to make it much quicker, everything like that, the whole tech of Bitcoin is going to be much better in 5 years time, 10 years time, then this is nothing like buying a lottery ticket at all. Could it go to zero? Yes, of course it could go to zero. That's like saying, okay, I'm going to buy a house for $500,000. Could the price go down to zero? It could go down to zero. If nobody wants to buy it, a house is only worth as much as somebody is willing to pay for it. So if nobody wants to buy it, then it could go to zero as well. So this is kind of the same with Bitcoin as well. It's been established now. It's established for the last 10 years, so it's not going to go to zero. It might go down to 1,000. It might go down to even lower than that. I don't think so, but it could. It could, but we know it's going to go back up again. People buying at $1,000 or not buying at $1,000 would be kind of crazy, to be honest. That's why it's good dollar cost averaging in. Put $200 a month in, or whatever you can afford to put in. The price just now, especially the price just now, and if it goes down, so if you buy $500 worth just now at $3,375, next month it goes down to $2,500, you buy another $500, next month it goes down to $2,000, you buy another $500. Don't try and anticipate. If you're doing that kind of investing, don't try and anticipate and say, I'll hold off this month, I'll just wait till it goes a little bit lower. Just keep buying in, just make it automated if you can, if there's kind of such a way to do that. And you can do that in Coinbase actually. You can automate it where you can just put in a certain amount every single month without actually looking at it. You just let your Bitcoin build up if you're doing it that way. I forgot to say, crush the likes everybody. If you like these videos, crush the likes. Just hit the kind of like button down below and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. So yeah, Bitcoin investing is nothing like buying a lottery ticket. And just go back to the chat, see who else is with us. Christopher A. Adam beat me to it indeed. Fair play to him. Mitch Dieter is in the house. David Schwartz. Alex Jug is in the house. High Plains Drifter. On his crypto journey. Chris Noble is in. Rafi Bogosian. Gareth Passage. Andreas. Pascal Amsterdam is in as well. Mac Powen is in as well. You're talking about world crash yesterday. Why Rothschild sold all his trust. Is there a reason of panic in the market? No, I just think we'll just have a look at the overall markets as well and see what's happening and kind of worldwide, not worldwide, but so where is the Dow Jones? Dow Jones is down to 24,370. It did go as low as 23,890. I just think this is the start of a longer kind of bear market for the stock market. As you can see, it's coming down here, but it might still go up as well, obviously. But I do think we're in for big kind of crashes very, very soon. And FTSE 100's kind of gone back up. It went down to 6674. It's now up to 6831 at the moment. Let's see what happens with that. I just think there's a lot of things going on under the kind of surface that is going to cause, I think, is going to cause big stock market crashes and kind of crashes around the world. Economic kind of crisis, I think, would be a better word for it. Well, that's just my belief. I could be totally and utterly wrong. I think the housing market is kind of really sky high just now. I think that could be falling. We're seeing it in London just now, obviously in the US as well. We're starting to see it in the US as well, and other kind of European countries around the world. I think student loans is a big thing nobody really talks about as well. I think that's a big thing. The bubble's going to burst on that, where if these students are not getting a job above a certain price, they're not going to have to pay the student loans back. But the debt in student loans just now is astronomically high. It's unbelievably high across the world, certainly in the UK and the US as well. So I think that's going to be a big major factor as well. Other things kind of going on underneath the surface as well. Could be good for kind of crypto markets, but I wouldn't want to kind of see that just so the crypto markets can go up. I'd rather have it everything stable. What else is kind of happening? S&P 500 down to 2,636 yesterday as well. But look at the kind of phenomenal rise up. If we look at it on the weekly chart, that's just an amazing chart, isn't it? And that's the S&P 500. And just look at the kind of Dow Jones. Look at the rise and rise. And this is since 1980. Just wonder what this is in June 2000. 38% drop. This was in 2008 when the last kind of crisis happened. 53% drop. So if we were looking at again a 53% drop, where would we go to? And again, this will be a blip on the market in about 10 years' time. So we could go back down to 13,000 for the Dow Jones. If we get another 50% drop like we did in 2008. But you can see it kind of quickly recovered. So that was from July 2007 and kind of peaked. So it lasted about 2 years. So it could do the same again, but you never know. I wouldn't like to see or bet on it kind of staying at these kind of high levels. Could go higher, maybe reach kind of 30,000 eventually and then come back down again, but you just don't know. Very uncertain times in the economic kind of world just now. Marcus Shafari is in the house, Bitcoin Andy is in, Nick Smith, Death Cross coming on Dow Jones. So is this the 50 over the 20, 200? So we'll go, I'll just kind of change that. Go 50. And 200. Yeah, that's on a weekly. On a daily, we kind of crossed that already. That says 200 going down over the 50. Does it look like on a monthly? If you looked at it on a monthly, you just wouldn't be getting out, but I don't think anybody would be trading on the monthly. Go back to BTC, USD, and go to Bitstamp. Now, the reason I'm kind of using Bitstamp is because it's got a longer time frame as well, and it seems to be kind of more stable. So it doesn't mean I'm trading on Bitstamp, it just means I'm using a Bitstamp graphs. That's all it is. Somebody was asking yesterday. So yeah, still looking at Bitcoin, you wouldn't be buying at these kind of prices. Or you wouldn't be trading at these prices, or wouldn't be buying into it to trade. Adam Forrest, reading Rich Dad Poor Dad, wish I'd picked it up in my 20s. Adam, that's I read it ages and ages ago. Rich Dad Poor Dad, and it's a book I think you could read again and again. I think he's updated it as well. G-Slick is in the house, Bitcoin Andy. Roger Ver was on Ivan on Tech. He lied right on live stream. Ivan asked him what he thought of Ripple. Ver said he knows nothing about Ripple. His website, maybe that is more appropriate. His website shows the Ripple logo under investments. Gareth Passage, Zcash, Bitcoin Andy. Anyone watch that? I didn't see that, Andy. Kev T, bit late. Hi, Crypto Buddies. We've just recently, well, we've only just started. Yeah, Big Bull and Soon Pish. Different word in Scotland. Honest Crypto Journey, any news on BABB, a December announcement and when Digitex Exchange goes live? Digitex BABB has just said it's going to go live at the end of December for the Digitex Exchange. Nothing on BABB as yet. Not that I've seen this morning anyway, unless something's come out late last night, yesterday, this morning. So I've not seen anything on the BABB announcement, but they're going to be announcing something hopefully within the next week or so. There's something else I want to kind of look at as well. And this guy's kind of taken over. He's not taken over, he's become a bit of a phenomenon. This is DaVinci J15. I just kind of watched one of his videos this morning. And this guy's been talking about Bitcoin since the very beginning. So you can see Bitcoin for Dummies 7 years ago. This was in 2011. Was Bitcoin. I'm just going to see if this goes back 8 years. 8 years ago. This is because he was talking about silver and gold. And then he started talking about Bitcoin. I'm just going to see when that was. The end of the gold and silver drama. So I watched a couple of his videos. Very calm, very kind of humble. I like what he kind of had to say as well. But a lot of people have been talking about him. I've seen him kind of being spoken about on Reddit. Bitcoin, Chris, Crypto Bitcoin Chris has spoken about him as well. I just seen a comment by him as well. And I'd seen a couple of his kind of videos as well. So I'm just trying to see. Yeah, it must have been 2011 that he first started talking about Bitcoin. Yeah, so it must have been that. Bitcoin for Dummies part 1 of many. That must have been one of the first videos. So it'll be interesting to go back and see that. I've not looked at the older videos, but he seems to be all over just now, and his channel has just kind of exploded on YouTube, and that's obviously YouTubers like myself talking about him, and kind of Reddit as well. And he was talking about kind of Bitcoin 7 years ago. And he's kind of made predictions about where it was going to go. And I think he's made predictions that it's going to go down further. That Bitcoin is going to go down further. A lot of people are listening to him because of what he kind of said in 2011 onwards. But he's made predictions that Bitcoin is going to go down further. And I don't know if there's specific numbers, maybe $1,000 or something, but says it is going to go back up. But you might want to check him out. I'll leave a link to his channel as well. Don't know if anybody else seen that, but somebody kind of posted in a premium group as well. Somebody actually wrote an article on him. So it was quite cool to see that. Cole Phillips is in. Rafi Bogosian. Yeah, I watched it too. I noticed that too about Ripple. Excellent. Rafi, Steve, you hear that YouTuber begged people in 2013 to US buy $1 of Bitcoin. Was that in 2013? I'll just go back to 2013. Bitcoin forecast for we'll just have a quick look. Now, once I see if this works, I don't know if it'll work or not. I'll just make sure all the sound is off, and I'll get the sound set up here, and we'll do system audio capture. Right, we'll just see what it says. Bitcoin forecast for 2012.
Good morning. So if you haven't seen my silver forecast, link below. Someone asked me on that video to do a Bitcoin forecast, and I wanted to do one anyway, so I'm doing one right now. The way I see Bitcoin's going right now, I don't know if you've noticed, but it hit a low of $2 in December. And it's now at, it reached the high of $7, which is that low. It's now at $6.50 as I do this video. I see for 2012 that Bitcoins, I got silver on the brain, Bitcoins is going to outperform, obviously, gold and silver. But not only that, I think Bitcoins is going to go higher than silver prices before it comes crashing back down again to probably around anywhere between $3 to $8. So we're going to see some crazy high of $80 this year for Bitcoins, and then it's going to be coming all the way back down to anywhere from $3 to $8. So reason why is because
so that was just one of his videos. Obviously, there's loads of videos he's kind of put out about Bitcoin. This is going back years as well, so it'd be interesting to kind of see that as well. Check out his video in May 2013. This is interesting. We've got time to do this because there's not a lot of news, so I'm interested in kind of doing this. So May 2013, so we're talking 5 years ago. It doesn't give the exact dates, so if you've got a link to it, just let me know. So 2013, no, it's not got the actual dates. Which is a pain. Bitcoin crashes here. No, unless you've got a link, I don't see that. It's called buy $1 of Bitcoin, please. Right, okay, right, that's better. Find, buy $1. Bitcoin update, just buy $1 worth of Bitcoin. Right, okay, we'll just go there again.
Hi everyone, it's been a while since I did a video, and I just want to do a quick video discussing where Bitcoin is and what it's going to do in the next few months, at least what I see it's going to do. I mean, I could be completely wrong, and I've been wrong before, but, you know, it's fun to guess these things, and so I'm going to lay out some guesses on where it's going and so forth. One of the things I want you to understand is that Bitcoin is more than just a payment system. Satoshi Nakamoto, he wrote it as to ensure that, you know what, you could do escrow transactions, bonded contracts, third-party arbitration, and multi-party signatures, and much more. This system, this whole Bitcoin protocol, is such a big game changer that, you know, the Bart Chilton coming out and saying that he wants to regulate it, he has no clue how that he's going to get a knife in the belly and a twist, that criminal, right, who says that, you know, silver's not manipulated. He's going to see that Bitcoin is going to regulate its own self, because you can create a system that allows for what's it called, leverage options and what's it called, derivatives, basically, which they want to regulate without a centralized system. And these are the amazing things that the Bitcoin protocol provides that you're not aware of. So right now, all most people are talking about is like, hey, you can buy drugs with it. You can what's it called? You can buy a few things with it. You can transfer. You could just speculate it and so forth. But no. This system is bigger than you really can perceive right now. It's basically like perceiving the internet to where it is today back in 1992. You can't perceive what the internet would provide, right, back in 1992. I had no clue that YouTube would be existing in 1992. So clearly, this is how big, and I'm trying to explain that this is how big Bitcoin is going to be. It also, right, if it catches on in a big way, right, all those features, right, have already been laid down. In the very beginning, Satoshi thought of all these things, right, for finances. And I don't know how, but he's laid it all down inside the Bitcoin protocol so that it's possible once it gets big enough. Wow, this system has to remain free and open. I'm going to move my life in that direction, ensuring that Bitcoins does not get co-opted by the Rothschilds and the Rockefellers and so forth, because it is a freedom provider for the rest of humanity. Because, You can't create more. It's mathematically impossible. And you know, a lot of you are skeptical. A lot of you don't believe in the Bitcoin system, and that's fine. You can stay on the sidelines, but if you really, really want to become wealthy in the future, I suggest you take $1 frickin' $1, buy some Bitcoins, put it in a goddamn wallet, put it fucking away. Okay, I'm sorry for swearing, but you know what? It's just $1. Get some Bitcoins, put it away. Goes to nothing. Who cares, right? You only spent $1, right? You'll get a million satoshis for $1, right? And the way I see it, that will be worth $1 million just for inflation once Bitcoin gets to where it's going to be. So it's up to you. You know what? I know you're not going to listen to that advice, most of you, and it's kind of sad because you know what? I was proud of.
Wow! Imagine if we'd listened to him back then. If we'd known about him, kind of back then as well. Crazy. Another life-changing book to read, The Richest Man in Babylon. I wish I'd read that years ago. Yeah, I read that years ago as well. Really, really good book as well. I love kind of books like that as well. Adam Forrest, while this guy was on the money, as we see with Digitex just about to launch. Yes, Adam, he was on the money. So a lot of people are talking about him just now. That's why I wanted to kind of feature him as well. I don't mind kind of featuring other YouTubers as well. And good YouTubers, that's why I kind of featured Crypto Bitcoin Chris a while ago as well. And a few others as well, and spoke about loads of them just now. Gene, late in folks, we'll watch replay on will BTC rise before the end of the year. Heavy underwater here. It doesn't look like it, to be honest, if it's going to rise before the end of the year. I'm still saying I'm just sticking by my $10,000 Bitcoin price by the end of the year. I don't honestly think that's going to happen. I think the odds of that happening are going down by the day, but it looks as if we're going to go down further. Unfortunately, Christopher A, amazing foresight, and he also seems extremely likable as a person. That's what I liked about him when I seen a couple of his videos. Very humble, and I like people like that. I don't like people who are kind of arseholes and they're just kind of full of themselves and they kind of believe their own hype. Very humble guy, so yeah, that's why I liked his kind of videos as well. Rafi Bogosian, 1 million Satoshi is 0.01 BTC. Even in the bear market, it's around $35 now. Yeah. What you think of TE Foods? Looked at them a while ago, haven't looked at them in ages just now. Okay, so we're just going to jump over to the headlines that I've kind of picked out just now. Next Bitcoin bull run, matter of when, not if, says BTC investor Eric Dalius. So real estate entrepreneur, Bitcoin investor and cryptocurrency expert Eric Dalius in Tech Billion says there's still plenty of fight left in Bitcoin despite the mudslinging from the naysayers and the falling Bitcoin price. He even goes on to say the next bull run is very close. So it's talking about the many bubbles of Bitcoin as well, but this is just another kind of point of view. The next bull run is very close for Bitcoin. Me, myself, I think the bull run is closer, very close as well. I don't see this bear market lasting 1 to 2 years. I just do not see that happening at all. But I've been wrong in the past. About kind of the Bitcoin price, but I don't see it lasting for the next two years or so. But so that's just another kind of point of view for that as well. IOHK opens Cardano to fintech dApps. So there's a lot of news about Cardano. I got sent a news story about from James, one of our Brown admins, as well today about Cardano. I'll show you that in a second, which I thought was really cool. And this is kind of another story I've found as well. So Charles Hoskinson was in Edinburgh yesterday and with IOHK, talking about IOHK. So the Cardano blockchain may soon join Ethereum and EOS as a platform for working decentralized applications. IOHK, the leading developer for the 11th most valuable blockchain, has announced the release of new tools for writing smart contracts, potentially opening the platform to development from startups, fintech and academia. So I think this is good news. As I said, I'm totally biased on this. I've been saying for ages that Cardano is kind of going to explode at some point. And I finally got into Cardano. I wasn't in Cardano a couple of months ago when I was talking about them, but I finally got into them when I seen them at under 900 Satoshi. So I thought this is just too good an opportunity. They might still go down to 800 or 750, but I still think this is still too good an opportunity to miss out on for Cardano. So I finally bought some Cardano for the longer term. So I've taken my trading kind of profits, put them into Cardano for the moment. As I said yesterday, if it doubled in price, obviously I'll take profits off the top and start kind of trading again, because I think trading is a good way to get more Bitcoin. But Cardano, I'm definitely really interested in. I think it's going to be another XRP. I spoke about XRP, kind of it was going to explode. I've been saying that for ages when it was around about 3,500, 4,000 Satoshi, and it did. It went up to 11,000 Satoshi. I think the same is going to happen with Cardano. It's at around about, I don't know where it is just now, actually about 900 or just 867 or something, I think. ADA, BTC. That's not coming up. Let's go to Binance, there it is. Where are we at just now? 877, so it's jumped up. It's just had a spike up over the last kind of couple of hours. Yeah, there we go, it's spiked up already. So it was at 868, it went up to 885. So I see Cardano doing extremely well. I do see them doing extremely well, and I think it's going to explode over the next couple of months. It's certainly, definitely my pick for the next couple of months, but there's so many out there that it's going to be really good. But I do still like XRP and Cardano as well for explosive kind of growth in the price, but also what they're doing as well, just because of the uptake and because of the institutional investors and more people talking about it. And I think if you go to the likes of CryptoPanic, this is where I've seen a lot of news stories about XRP. And this is why I kept on saying this is going to explode, it's going to jump. Same is happening with Cardano just now. And just look at Cardano, all the kind of news stories about Cardano and CryptoPanic. Loads and loads of news stories. And I would imagine if we went to Google search as well, there'd be more and more people searching for Cardano. And this is, it's almost like a predictor that something's going to happen. So the other piece of news was kind of looking at that James had sent me, and this was quite interesting. Cardano crypto card is here, pay with ADA in over 33,000 retailers. This is news that they've got a Cardano card in South Korea, and it's a company called Emergo, the company which drives the adoption of Cardano and adds value to ADA holders, introduced much anticipated Cardano crypto card in Seoul, South Korea. And it's kind of got a video down here as well. Although in the video you can check out yourself. We'll put a link to this as well. I'll just see, because I've still got that on just now.
In this case, they wanted to impact everyday lives.
메뉴, 이게 메뉴예요? 네. 바닐라 드링으로 주세요.
결제는 어떻게 하셨어요?
에이다 크립토 카드 할게요.
So it's got a video there as well about how he's using the Cardano card, but it's on the app, obviously, that he's got on his phone as well. And obviously I think that's the way to go as well, people on the app. But although I do like the physical card and just kind of swipe it, you can do that. So I think that's going to be a thing as well. I don't see why in this video they kind of showed you kind of the women punching in a number, a long number, which kind of cuts, well, it kind of makes it much more harder to actually pay. Not much harder, but it just makes it a longer process to pay it rather than just kind of swiping it. So they brought out this card, Cardano card, in 33,000 retailers, and it shows you the kind of video about it as well. I'll kind of put the link up as well. This is only good news for Cardano. I think it's one of the kind of many pieces of news that's coming out about Cardano. So I do think Cardano is going to explode, and I think we're going to see a 100-200% increase over the next couple of months for Cardano, certainly. I think is going to happen relatively quickly as well for Cardano, and that's one of the reasons I'm into it. But the other reason is obviously the tech. I do like Charles Hoskinson, I must admit, and what he's got to say. And I just think he's a smart, intelligent guy, and they've got smart, intelligent people working with Cardano as well, but they're just doing it all in the background. They're just kind of bubbling away underneath the surface, and they're not kind of really shouting about it, and they're just doing their thing, and more people are going to discover that, and it's just going to explode. That's what I think, certainly about Cardano, but that's just my opinion. I'm totally biased as well, I have to be honest, because I bought into them the other day, but I have been saying that for a while, before I even bought into them as well. That was the IOHK. Bitcoin will go a lot higher, says suspected Satoshi Nakamoto, who's made several accurate predictions. So this is a kind of news story in CYT-Crypto.com about the guy I've just shown you. I'll just see if he's... Is this a... Yeah, DaVinci J15. The man simply identified as DaVinci J15 on YouTube said Bitcoin is a reliable crypto asset that has a bright future, and anyone saying Bitcoin will go down to zero does not understand how the ledger works with the properties of checking double spends and a data, right, blah blah blah. So this is actually a news story on the guy I've just kind of shown you, DaVinci J15 as well. So interesting, really interesting. That just came out yesterday as well. So check that guy out, check his kind of videos out. I'm going to check out more of his videos as well. Very humble, down to earth guy. Kind of liked him when I watched a couple of his videos today as well. So I thought that was quite funny that they've actually got a news story about him as well. And this is kind of Facebook's bet on blockchain, 4 more job postings. So they're looking, if you look on kind of Facebook careers, they're looking for a data scientist in blockchain, data engineer, software engineer, and well, 2 software engineers for the blockchain. So it looks as if they're going to get more and more into the blockchain technology. How they're going to use that, don't quite know. But it's going to be interesting to see what Facebook do. And they can't be left behind, so I think they're doing the right thing. VC investor says Coinbase is looking to add more coins. We kind of knew that anyway. Coinbase have kind of come out and said that as well. So Coinbase is on a path of adding as many crypto assets as possible. As a crypto exchange, what do you want? So they're talking about Coinbase and more. I think the Coinbase effect is going to be diluted. So as more and more coins get added, it's not going to be such a big thing anymore. So the likes of some of the coins that have been added already, like BAT, and well, there's loads of coins now that are getting added to Coinbase Pro. The effect that has on the actual kind of Satoshi value, you've seen a lot of them jumping up. DNT jumped up about 50% because of that. I think that's going to be diluted the more and more Coinbase kind of Pro puts projects on their platform as well. So I think the next couple is going to jump up, but there's going to be a dilution of that Coinbase effect, we should call it. Crypto sell-off leaves Bitcoin dominant. Market optimism remains rampant. So while the cryptocurrency markets continue to plunge, Bitcoin's dominance in terms of market capitalization is at its highest point in 3 months. Bitcoin's market cap is sitting at 55.1% dominance and growing according to data published by CoinMarketCap. We kind of showed you that at the very beginning. And there's still optimism for the market, they're saying. It says, while the market is rather gloomy, market participants continue to capitulate. There are notable people in the industry who remain optimistic. Mike Novogratz, we've kind of spoken about before as well. I think he has to kind of remain. He can't just do about a U-turn and just say, no, it's not going to go up. He can't do that, so he kind of has to remain positive about it, I suppose. Novogratz then said, I think you'll see a market for security tokens. I believe that as well. A real estate portfolio that gets tokenized, for example. There aren't things that go from $1 to 1,000, and they're things that yield 14% and will be sold to qualified buyers. That sounds a heck of a lot less sexy, but you're going to see that business grow. Yes, I think that's going to happen as well. I was looking at, I don't know if you've seen this as well. So I've been looking at kind of investments, and I think this would be ideal kind of for the blockchain. And this is, we'll go to, have I finished with the news? That's the news over. So I was looking at HouseCrowd. I don't know if you've actually seen this. HouseCrowd, just go to it. I'm not saying you should invest in it or anything, I'm just saying this is what I've been looking at. So I've been looking at alternative investments and saying, okay, what could grow? I want a compounded interest per year, but kind of bigger than the freaking banks are offering just now, like 1%. Or if you put £10,000 in, you can get 1.5%. What to do is, who cares about 1.5%? I'm looking for kind of stabilised investment, like maybe 8, 9, 10% year on year. And I was looking at HouseCrowd and websites like that as well. And HouseCrowd, what you do is peer-to-peer lending. And we've seen this on the blockchain already. Obviously, there's a lot of projects out there that do peer-to-peer lending. But HouseCrowd are established, and I wondered if they'd done a reversed ICO, how that would work as well. It'd be quite cool if they looked at doing a reverse ICO and how much they would get. But basically, you're lending money to people who want to buy a house, or commercial kind of companies that want to buy kind of property as well, or developers. And that's what you're looking to do with HouseCrowd. And you can earn 10%, up to 10% per annum. So just look at some of them. Just now, Foxisle Rise, kind of phase 4. This is developers looking to build houses and looking to borrow. Instead of going to the banks, they're looking to borrow kind of around about 9% per annum interest, but it's only short-term loans. So if you gave them, say, $100,000 or £100,000, for example, you get £109,000 back at the end of the term, say at the end of the year. Obviously minus expenses, so you might get £108,000 back. But that's still a good return on investment, much better than putting in a bank or a government bond. So I've been looking at that as well, and I think this would be ripe for the kind of blockchain. I think there's a lot of projects out like this as well, talking about peer-to-peer lending for property as well. And that's what they were kind of talking about here. This is what Novogratz was talking about as well, for tokenizing securities like this. So I thought it was quite interesting. Aloysius de Klerk, everyone, a bit late to the party. Yeah, we're just about finished up, Aloysius. Bitcoin Andy, thoughts on ETC Dev joining Tron? Haven't seen that news story. Haven't seen that news story at all. I know obviously they left the ETC development, or part, one kind of team left Ethereum Classic. Pete Volos, what's your thoughts on BACS breaking through the central bank and government restrictions? Don't know what's going to happen with BABB. Obviously, BABB are they're looking to bring out news very soon. We've seen that, and they're still trading in this channel just now. They've still been trading in this channel between 9 and 11 Satoshi. Been trading in that for a while now, and they're back up to, or back down to 9 Satoshi. 9 Satoshi and 10 Satoshi. This is on KuCoin. Breaking through the restrictions. I think they're eventually going to do it. I think the banks can't ignore what's going to happen with kind of underlying blockchain technology. And if BABB can be one of the first to actually be a bank on the blockchain, then I think first to market is going to be really good. There's no other banks. A lot of people are talking about kind of there's other banks on the blockchain. There's not at the moment. There's not fully licensed banks on the blockchain at the moment. And BABB is looking to be one of the first to kind of market for that. Somebody else might beat them to it if they leave it long enough, but hopefully they'll get the Lithuanian license in Q1 of 2019. They've already done a lot of the preparatory work. It's just a matter of putting in their kind of applications just now. Obviously they had to get a chief officer in there as well in place, so obviously that slowed them down a wee bit as well. Getting through the government regulations for the Bank of England license. We'll need to wait and see. I think the Lithuanian license, once they get that, I think that'll go a long way towards giving the Bank of England confidence in what BABB are doing as well. And once they get the app up and running and they start onboarding people, I think that's going to be good for BABB and for the Bank of England application as well. So the Bank of England one is going to be the big one. And the Bank of Lithuanian license is going to be good. It's going to be brilliant. But it's just going to be a stepping stone to the Bank of England license, and that's going to have a lot more kind of credence behind it as well. So a lot of people are going to kind of set up and take notice once they get the Bank of England license. Once they get the Bank of Lithuania license or the Lithuanian license, people are going to take notice, but not as much as when they get the Bank of England licenses. And I think they will get through the kind of regulations that they have to go through, but it's not going to be easy. And they're working on that all the time. So still believe in BABB for the long term. This is an investment. This is definitely an investment. Could it go to zero? Yes, of course it could go to zero. And they might not get any of the licenses. Something might happen that just something kind of happens that nothing kind of goes right for them. They don't get the licenses or whatever. But it's an investment nonetheless, and I think it's one where they've done a lot of the preparatory work already. I think they're almost there, getting to the next level. And this is why I kind of believe in BABB and the team that they've got and what they're doing just now as well. I hope that answers your question. I think I went on a wee bit there. Aloysius, Clerk, has any of you guys done extensive research on Yggdrash and want to get some Zebi and Yggdrash? If you look at who done a video on them, I think it was Superman. I know a lot of people don't like Superman, but he done a video on them ages ago. I liked them when they first came out, but I believe in the ICO you couldn't actually buy them. I think it was just private investors. If it's the same one, I can't remember, but I like the look of them. But I think Superman's done a video. You'll see loads of videos on YouTube, so I would search them as well. Matthew Parks just read an article about a pub in London which has announced it's no longer taking cash payments, cards and contactless only. Welcome to the digital age. Yeah, cash is just going to be, the next generation is just going to look at kind of £10 notes and kind of $10 bills and stuff like that, and they're going to go, what is that? Because it's just going to be all contactless. I love using contactless. I don't like it on my phone because I've not always got my phone on me. I hate being contacted or being able to be contacted wherever I am. So I don't like taking my phone everywhere, but I do have my card everywhere I go. Aloysius, Da Vinci also said Bitcoin will only move in the next 2 years. Just hope he was wrong on that. I think what's going to happen with Bitcoin is going to jump up again, but it might come back down again. I think that's what he was kind of talking about as well. But I do think it is, I think it's now time to really start thinking about the long term and just saying, okay, I'm going to buy a Bitcoin at a time, a piece of Bitcoin at every kind of month or something like that, and really start doing that. That's where my kind of mindset is just now. Just buy in very slowly in kind of small amounts, whatever price it is, and just kind of store it. Just build it up and build it up. Do you have any Dentacoin, Steve, or what do you think of it? I don't have any Dentacoin. I've not looked extensively at it. Aloysius, just like I actually did those surveys for Dentacoin, I would rather get more kin than Dentacoin. Ah, excellent. So that's somebody that's kind of looked into it. Crypto Dread is in the house. Sorry, I missed some good knowledge. It's good to have you here, buddy. I know it's like, what, 4:20 over there in the morning? G-Slick, okay, yeah, I picked up more Kin a few days ago. Kin got around 150 million users. Kin could be huge. Kin could be huge. I've been saying that for ages. Just a bit of patience. A lot of people are losing patience, but it started to go up over the last kind of couple of weeks. Raul, Kin's a coin for this year because of its low price and heavy real world progress. Next big thing, Cardano. Steve's always good about this stuff. Yeah, I think Cardano is going to be explosive in the next couple of weeks to a couple of months. I really do. Steve's thoughts on ZIL. Haven't looked in a while actually, but I do like it. He's talking about Zilliqa. ZIL BTC. Oh, I want to go to Binance one. 395 just now. We're just going to look at the big macro picture and we'll look on the daily. So it's not at its all-time low yet. All-time low is around about 340, 50. All-time high 2,256. So it's near 8 times off its all-time high. But if we look at the wick, 2,500. Yeah, it's about 8 times where it was. Well, not 8 times, about 7 times actually. But yeah, I do like Zilliqa. I think we're nearly finished. I think that's us about finished. Yeah, that's 9:22. I've gone on longer than I wanted to. I always like talking to you guys. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for the moment and wish you and bid you a brilliant day. I'll put the links in the video in the comments down for you as well, and you can check out Da Vinci J15, his videos as well. I think you'll find it quite interesting. And seems to be a really nice guy, and I'll put all the links for the news items for you as well. Okay. Still thoughts on the NPXS last thing. Now, yeah, still like Pundi X. Still like Pundi X. I think they're still going to do big things. They're actually making money just now, and they're bringing people into the crypto world. So I do still like Pundex. Cannot understand why they're still at 15, 16 Satoshi. But hopefully that'll change in 2019 for everybody holding. We've still got it as a community coin as well. But I'm going to leave it there just now. That was the last thing. And I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same place. Until next time, namaste. Take care. Bye now.
Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see genius. Because the people who are crazy enough to think they can change the world are the ones who do. Here's to the crazy ones, the misfits, the rebels, the troublemakers, the round pegs in the square holes, the ones who see things differently. They're not fond of rules, and they have no respect for the status quo. You can quote them, disagree with them, glorify or vilify them. About the only thing you can't do is ignore them, because they change things. They push the human race forward. While some may see them as the crazy ones, we see